So today I'm going to be talking about mindful meditation practices and how they can be used as a tool in classrooms. But first, before I go into that, I wanted everyone here to take a deep breath and exhale. Okay, good. So does everyone kind of get that calm and relaxed feeling? Yeah. So deep breathing triggers our parasympathetic nervous system, and this neutralizes stress and elicits a calming feeling, which is what you're feeling right now. So this technique is used in mindful meditation, and I think that this strategy, paired with some other calming tools, can be used to help students' behavior in the classroom and should ultimately replace detention. So over the past few years, I have found mindful meditation extremely helpful to combat anxiety issues, and I think that this strategy should replace useless punishments in schools like detention. So first, I will go over how detention is actually detrimental to a student's learning. Then we will look at some of the benefits to mindful meditation in students. And then finally, we will go over some ways to promote mindful meditation as a valid way to address behavioral issues, especially in schools. So detention is a very ineffective form of punishment because it can cause students to become even more frustrated in the classroom, and it does really nothing to help address the specific problem that they are encountering in school. So in many classrooms across the United States, students are punished by schools enforcing detention, and this usually consists of a group of students sitting in a monitored classroom. Some students are allowed to do homework during these times, other detentions give students specific assignments, and then some restrict any type of activities at all. And so this proves very ineffective because it doesn't address why the student was punished, and it doesn't give them any tools on how to help change their behavior. So, according to Down to Detention, an online article published by Education Week on November 30th, 2015, it is illogical and inhumane, and it doesn't address the particular problem behavior, and it certainly won't motivate you to do your best work. So the majority of detentions offer no type of tutoring services or counseling, and they don't treat the specific reason or infraction that you committed. So students are sent to detention for a number of different reasons, ranging from tardiness to missing assignments. And grouping all of these students together and making no effort to try to understand why they made the mistakes really doesn't help them anyway. And making students sit in a room for hours gives them no way or any ideas to help cope with classroom teaching, and it doesn't give them any insight on why or how they should change their behavior. So another problem is detention it also can further frustrate students rather than motivate them. So students are ready to devote 5 days a week to going to school, and making them sit during their free time makes them less motivated to participate. Lack of communication between teachers and students is already one of the major problems in our school systems, and if a student sends a teacher to detention, it can create a bigger void between them, and they'll be less likely to ask for help from that teacher in the future. So according to Detention is Over, written by Sarah Boosfeld, published by the National Post on January 3rd, 2014, to have a student sit in detention without understanding how their behavior, lateness or otherwise, is affecting everyone else around them is not enough in our experience. So the current detention system is basically doing the opposite of what it should supposed to do. And rather than teaching kids a lesson and providing them a punishment, it is causing kids to become even more frustrated within the classroom. And if schools continue to portray being at school as a punishment, kids are going to not want to come to school or participate in class. So substituting meditation for detention proves effective in reducing behavior problems within the classroom. So, and one of the main causes of this is because meditation promotes self-reflection and regulation. So, rather than punishing students by putting them into detention, we integrate meditation in the classroom, and this will allow students time for self-reflection, and they can also regulate their emotions and behavior. So, according to How Mindfulness Could Help Teachers and Students, written by Laura Cassini-Davis, published on August 31st, 2015, counting breaths and focusing on the sensations of breathing to visualizing thoughts and feelings help train students' attention, quiet their thoughts, and regulate their emotions. Self-regulation and reflection practices during meditation can transfer over into the classroom. Mindful practices like controlled breathing and becoming aware of your emotions are very useful to students, and this can prove very effective. Students with behavioral issues, anxiety, ADHD, they can set aside time for relaxation so when they go back to the class they are ready and more eager to learn. So another reason why I want to promote meditation in the classroom is because it creates more of a safe haven for students. By turning the classroom into a safe space, it will make children feel more at home and more comfortable. And this will lead to more motivation in the classroom, as well as better and more open communication with teachers and students. According to Yasmin Kordowski, who published an article entitled "The Movement Meditation Replacing Detention in Schools," published on September 30th, 2016, he states, "As mindfulness has become a part of the school's approach, the teachers have seen signs of success. There is more reflection, more awareness. Children are more willing to talk to teachers and take responsibility for their behaviors." So making many students' behavior in class is a reflection of a bigger problem, something that's going on outside of the classroom. And by placing students in a safe space, it will allow them to communicate with the teachers better. And it will also help classroom performance as well as overall morale of the students. So students are sent to detention for many reasons, and little is done to truly understand why they made the wrong choice. Instead of forcing them to stay at school for longer than required, meditation allows the child to work through their frustrations and allows peaceful time for self-reflection. So schools that have implemented mindful meditation programs such as Quiet Time have reported an average 40% reduction in psychological distress, including anxiety within the classroom, and also an estimated 10% raised in test scores. So obviously one of the main solutions that I wanted to promote is eradication of detention within all schools, but this is a really long-term solution, and there are many steps that we need to take in order to make this viable. So one thing that everyone can do in their everyday lives is to promote mindful meditation and incorporate that into your routine. So by encouraging more and more people to use meditation in their everyday life, everyone will experience the benefits of it. And if more people become open to this as a useful form of handling their problems and their stresses of everyday life, this will transfer over into the classroom. So meditate, do yoga, set aside time for breathing practices, and encourage others, your family, your loved ones, your friends to do that as well.